Hello and welcome to the Free Cheese episode 616. I'm your Joe Dix, joined by Matt Sellner.
Hello.
The Free Cheese is a weekly video game podcast about video games brought to you once a week by thefreecheese.com. Matt, we're halfway through season 13 right now. Right now, today, halfway. 50.
Yeah.
Half of them. Half of it. So, as we've been doing in traditional fashion, this is where we break convention. Although it feels like we've had like 16 break convention
It's
episodes
a welcome
in the
break.
last. It is. We've had a lot of back-to-backs, a lot of games to play this year for the list. If you're unfamiliar with the list, it's the thing that we do now. Thefreecheese.com/the list. Every week we talk about a different video game, then we review it, and then we rank it on the list. There are over 140 games on the list now, with a bunch more to be added later this year. Today, we'll start by looking back at some big hits from the list. We'll then not talk about the list at all, talk about some of our favorite video games we've been playing this year, talk about some of the news stories from this year that have caught our attention in one way or another, look ahead a little bit at what we still want to play and are anticipating the release of, and then we'll tease a little bit of what's to come uh, down the line. You know what's out there for the rest of the summer because it's up on the website. It's in our summer preview catalog video, but we'll give you a taste of what's coming in the fall, just a touch. Before all of that, Matt, I know what we said at the top of the year, but now we're 6 months in. What is going to win Game of the Year? And I don't mean at the Game Awards specifically. I mean, what's the thing that everyone's going to be talking about come December? Last
Cl-
year, sorry, yeah,
Go.
it was Balatro was the big one last year that everybody felt, right? That was the universal kind of. What's the one this year?
Clay Obscure. Expedition
You,
33.
you think it'll hold out?
Yes. Absolutely.
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. I don't know what else it could be. Like, there's been some big ones. I mean, I, but I don't know. I don't know what's had as much buzz from people as that. We'll hear more about Claire Obscure later on because Matt spent a good amount of time with it. But let's check in with big hits from the list. So far, I don't know. I didn't count how many games we've played this year so far, but we've had 25 weeks of episodes, and that's quite a few video games we've played. Um, what's been a big surprise from the list? What's been like, okay, do you have a favorite game we've played so far?
Favorite game so far? Um. uh, The politically correct answer is Doom 2016. However, not necessarily a
Fair.
new experience for us putting it on the list. It had been a game we
Sure.
played for quite a few hours already. Uh, I, looking back, can't believe it was this year we played it. It feels like forever ago, but like Other M is
Yeah.
still a pretty good Metroid game. And I was reminded of that when we were making up the Switch 2 list and talking about Dread. I'm like, Other M was like pretty good compared to Metroid Dread 2.
It was. It was very good. Um, yeah, I still it's such a shame that game gets such a bad rap because I get why people
Yeah, I do too.
memed it and whatever,
I had
but at the
some
same
similar
time, like,
problems, but yeah.
yeah, the gameplay of it, the core like adventure of it, I thought was really, really fun. Um, I think if I had to pick a favorite, it might be Dino Crisis 2
That would probably be on my short list.
because that one was just I expected something very specific, and I got so much more, and I was so surprised with that one. Everything else has been like so there's been surprises for sure. Like Power Slave was another one. Like had never heard of that game, didn't know anything about it, and I was like had a great time working my way through that. Um, it was just like a fun, solid experience. Like I also kind of Metroid-y, but yeah, Dino Crisis 2 was like just solid. And I played that on Vita the whole time, which felt great. It's just yeah, man. Really, really good. Um Resident Evil 5 was also a good time because we got to play that co-op and that was an experience. And again, another one where I've had this weird connotation in my head about that game for so long, where I actively thought like, oh, well, that's where things got bad, right? And like, no, not at all. It's good. I know it's different. It's more action, but there's still enough of it
The
there.
cover based stuff was bad.
It wasn't great, but I had a good time.
It's fun though.
I didn't, yeah. Um, yeah. What else you got on your short list? Any other the good ones? What are the
The good ones. Titanfall 2. I mean, still
yeah.
multiplayer still holds up very well today. You can still find matches. It's just you're probably playing against people that played Titanfall 2 for about 2,000 hours at this point. But still fun to be had. But that single player campaign, playing through it finally for the first time in full, it's a lot of fun and just constantly mixes up the gameplay to keep things fresh. And it does what any good first person shooter does. It introduces, nowadays at least, introduces a mechanic right at the point where you're like, this is starting to get repetitive. It leaves the mechanic behind, or just like starts to include it in a different way and then brings in another mechanic, or does a completely different thing for another level. And then on top of this one, you're in and out of the mech as well. It's like 5 to 6 hours of just like boom, boom, boom fun. And the gunplay in that game is fantastic.
Yeah, it was good revisiting that one. Because you forget, you know how good it is, right? And it's a game that people talk about and they want more of, but it's one that like I haven't played that campaign in I don't know 7 or 8 years, and going back to it still holds up, still solid. Another campaign where you get to climb into a mech that we played finally this year was Anthem. I'm thrilled that we got to play it before the servers went offline, and like I'm not going to say that was like a highlight of the year, but I'm certainly glad we played it and got to see it. I do think the core gameplay is fun, but it left something to be desired from the story and others. But it was there. Another one for me that was a good hit was Harvester. Just a bizarre adventure game. This may or may not surprise you, but I was just sometimes I go on archive.org and I find the video game magazine scans, and like we've talked about this before. I spend a lot of time reading old magazines, but sometimes I just open up magazines from different countries and see like what were they even if it's not in English, I'm just like what were they talking about generally. I'm just like looking at ads and looking at their general coverage and layouts, and like how did layout design differ between countries in the 90s and whatever. And I had one magazine open. It was a Japanese magazine I don't remember the name of, and there's like a full page ad for Harvester with like
Awesome.
kanji all over the page. Like it still said Harvester in English, but it was
Yeah.
just like, oh man, okay, this was like promoted and an international release. Like I wouldn't have expected that, especially in that era. Like maybe later, or I don't. It's weird, very weird seeing that. Yeah. Any other big surprises, hits, fun?
Just real quick, Geometry Wars. The game's just
Yeah.
fun to hang out in for, how, I mean, you can get 2 hours enjoyment out of it in a sitting, but like that's a ton of fun to sit down for like 10, 15 minutes with, do a couple runs, one of the various modes, and call it. Very pretty. We talked about it on, I think I made the statement, it's very pretty, and then when you get an achievement and the Xbox 360 dashboard pops up, it's like so fuck.
Such a contrast of the resolution. Yeah. Now for the other side of the list. The ones that didn't shine so bright. I think it's worth mentioning that when I was thinking back through, I didn't even remember that we played Killzone this year.
Wish I had that memory.
Uh, yeah, the only thing I'd written down for like a big miss was Mortal Kombat Mythologies Sub-Zero. But now remembering that Killzone is one that we played. I also did not like Killzone very much.
No, I think Killzone, like, I knew what I was getting myself into Sub-Zero, and it still sucked, which is like, ah.
Yeah.
But man, Killzone really just like it. That was a deflating experience because I wanted so much more, or maybe more so expected so much more out of that game, and it's
Yeah.
just like a brown, repetitive, tedious
I need
experience.
redemption from that, and I don't think we're gonna get it. Like, I might just go play Mercenary on Vita or something, or maybe I'll finally try Shadowfall. But yeah, like I thought there'd be something else, and there wasn't. It
I need to see gameplay of some of these games. I'm sure Shadowfall is a fine video game compared to this, and it has a lot of the quality of life stuff you saw coming from the PS3 to the PS4 era. But yeah, man, I need to see some gameplay before jumping into another Killzone game because my confidence has been shattered. And it's
yeah.
wild because I fucking love Horizon Zero Dawn. So
Yeah, I never went back and like watched like videos of other people playing it or anything, or like I, I don't know. I think contemporary, like if we'd played it then, it probably would have been like a okay, yeah, I rented that game. Maybe, but
So unless there
it's
was like
tough.
fun to have on the multiplayer, because that was probably one of the first network games besides SOCOM like that, like a shooter on PlayStation. But yeah,
Yeah. 3.8. That was our final score, combined score on that one. Bad time. Any other bad ones for you? Things that let you down?
not to say it was bad. I think I expected something else out of Simulacra than what it turned out to be.
Yeah, yeah.
Again, I think it's worth it. You know, if you're interested somewhat in that kind of game, I think there's something to be had. I don't know. I think my
Yeah.
expectations were like they were at par for what the game was, but I went right and the game went left, kind of thing.
That's fair. I'll also call out Brain Age. Not as a bad one, but just to close out kind of
That's
the list talk, like
unique.
I Brain Age is always fun. I have fallen off of it, but only because I've been playing my PSP more than my DS. Um, so I haven't had a chance to check back in with it.
Do want to keep in mind that we're in the year 2025. A Switch 2 has just come out, and Joe just said I have switched from my DS to my PSP. So,
I mean,
just want to check in with the listener viewer just to make sure that
just bought.
this is a post it in 2025 podcast still.
I bought a new battery for this, and what rules about this battery is I got it like a week ago, and it still isn't dead. Like it,
Ah, shit.
dude. This battery rules.
Is that your
Very happy.
3000?
It's my 3000.
Huh. Hmm.
And I've been playing it, dude. I've been playing a bunch of Dissidia, and then right now you see Tony Hawk is suspended on here. But,
Okay,
yeah,
we might need to talk about that battery because I mean, not that
dude.
I had problems with mine, but that's impressive.
Well, no, but like the one that I had, which I think you got the same one because it was the one I recommended. I went to go charge this, and the cover felt weird, and I opened it up, and the battery was swollen. And I was like, all right, gotta get a new one. And I looked up. All right, 2025 is the thing I bought still the one to buy? Because it was a little weird that that one so quickly swelled up. And no, different one was recommended. And so far, like, almost every day since I got the new battery, I've been playing Dissidia on it. And then, yeah. So we'll see. Testing still abound. But I think it's good. Speaking of PSP and playing PSP, how has your PSP been going? We last year for the listeners, I bought an Xbox and Matt bought a PSP. as an experiment to figure out console life. Have you played more of it? Have you picked back up?
Nah, I really haven't touched
Any
it too much.
any interest in doing so?
I will eventually. There'll be something stupid that I go back to it for. There,
Yeah.
there might be a game later in the year. RPG,
There's
RPG.
yeah. I need to. I've also been playing PSP Go, and I gotta get my save. I gotta get my save from that RPG transferred over to this one so that I can pick up and keep going because I'm on the 3000 right now. I also got a new battery for the PSP Go, but not relevant. I on the Xbox side, I've played a little bit of that Xbox this year. I did beat Justice League Heroes finally. I was very happy to see that through to its end. That was a game, I don't know if the listeners recall or if you recall, that I bought brand new, still in the shrink wrap in 2024 for like $35. And I was thrilled.
Yes.
But yeah, Justice League Heroes is like a good, solid top-down beat 'em up. It's made by Snowblind Studios, who made all those like PS2 era Baldur's Gate slasher hack and slash kind of things, but they had some weird RPG elements, and this had some weird RPG elements to it too, so it's a fun time. Besides that, I've been playing a lot of video games this year, it turns out. How about you?
The same.
It's been a year.
Shocking amount for the amount of games you've played already for the list.
Yeah, it's kind of gross how much we've been playing. What do you want to jump into first? What's been
Final Fantasy, because I got a few, right?
Dude, I think you and I are just gonna like tee off a bunch of Final Fantasy volleys here.
I did. I don't know. It's becoming the the winter January tradition to sub up on 14 and play it.
Right.
And I finished the second half of Heaven's Ward, and I'm through the main quest of Stormblood. Now I'm just in the in-between stuff, and then I'll be at all whatever the next one is. I forget. I get the two confused.
Shadowbringer?
I can't remember. It's Endwalker or Shadow. I think it's Shadowbringer.
Shadowbringers is next, yeah. Man,
I'm getting there, man.
How's Stormblood?
It was good. I liked it. I liked the like some of the new areas they put you in. Some of the story it's picking up in aspects. You know, it, like I feel like if I would play back to back to back to back, I would catch up all the references. But like I'm slowly, like as I play through, like a character will come back and I'll make note of them, and I'm like, wait, is that the person from that? And then connect the dots. I've been MSQing for
yeah
just like pretty much religiously.
Yeah.
Except for any like the blue ones that I kind of see that are worth doing or seem like they're worth doing.
What are blue ones? I don't remember.
The blue ones will unlock a thing for you to do, or
that's right.
There's another kind of reward out of it. It could just be like unlocking the ability to paint your outfit, but like I don't know. There's some of that stuff I've seen worth doing. So I've been doing some of that. I've been keeping my eye on the raids because there's their own story beats that you have to kind of go through to do the raid before like the raids are even available. I did the one that is like highly recommended before, I think Endwalker already. I'm just kind of keeping my eye out for like those ones that like a lot of people are like, you should really do this one to make sense of what's going to happen here. So,
you feel like you have a good grip on the game, like
yeah, yes, but because I'm like in and out of it, like you know, like it's like an 8-month break. It takes me like a day to really like get back into the swing of things on
the
way that like the controller mappings and the I forget the hot bars, like swapping between the hot bars, knowing when to hit things. Um, it is fun though. I've gotten like more confident and like I will speak to like at least the community on Reddit and the way people on YouTube talk and whatever. Like there are a lot of like I have screwed up. So one, I got the confidence to do like the light party stuff, not just do it AI, do it with people. Um,
Cool.
and on top of that, like I have screwed up a lot and no one's gotten mad at me. Like verbally, like maybe they have in their
Yeah,
own
yeah.
like head, but like no one's cussing me out in the chat. There might be someone like suggesting me to try something, which is feedback is is wanted for a white
It's
mage.
valid. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's been really cool to go through those light party things, those raids with the summons and all the crazy stuff that this game throws at you. So, no, it's just been fun. And I like I said, I feel like we both said it. Like these expansions seem to like be like better talked about as time like as you get through
Oh
them.
yeah.
So like seeing how Stormblood like Heaven's Ward are like ramped once and then how like kind of Stormblood it feels like it picked up like another like gear. I'm curious to see what all this other stuff does.
Is there a world where you sub to this and stay subbed and like check in with it more frequently than once a year? Or is it just not there?
It's just it's probably not there, and it will probably take me dipping the podcast to do it because there's just so many
Yeah.
months where it's just inconsistent where I kind of can't get to play some things I want to play, and then on top of the things I want to play, and then the like the stuff on the list,
Yeah.
it gets crowded. I just feel like there would be some months where the subscription would just go without an hour played, which
Yeah, yeah.
um
Like from what I hear from people who stay sub to that, they are running the same raid over and over again,
I don't
or
even do
they're
that.
trying the new whatever at the highest difficult. Like they're doing all those things. Like that. That seems to be where
I'm
the need
nowhere
is.
near there. I still have. I mean, I'm still finished up store. Like I'm not out of the water. I just finished the main. Like I
Yeah,
rolled the credits for the first time. I still have 3 full expansions to get through before.
and that's my like when I played through A Realm Reborn. I never finished Heavensward yet, but playing through A Realm Reborn, period, like it was like, oh man, like this is a Final Fantasy game. Like it felt so good to get through that campaign that like the other stuff was cool that people were there, but it was more about the core story experience for me, and it worked really well. Um, it's been fun living vicariously through you because I think I did sign up for a month around the time you did, and I
We
didn't
ran
play
a
it.
couple of the light party.
Yeah,
I forget what they're. Are they jobs? No, jobs are the. I forget the term for them.
I forget.
It's the 4
But yeah,
person ones that are like constant throughout the MSQ.
a duty.
Maybe. Yes, yeah, that seems right.
Yeah, yeah. I remember we did that, and like I think I maybe played like a day or two of doing some MSQ stuff on Heaven's Ward, and then I didn't. Yeah, didn't
A
keep
lot of
playing
it,
it.
I mean, like I said, it gets dry because a lot of it is like run from this character to this character. Dun dun
Yeah,
dun 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 dun. It's like, all right, that took 30
and
seconds.
like
Go
at
find
that.
3 plants out in this field that's like over here that doesn't have a good fast travel point.
Yeah,
15 minutes later. Dun 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 dun.
it
Dun.
was a little, yeah, left a little bit to be desired.
Alpha Nod, that's
Uh,
your favorite person, I think.
Ponytail. Um, it kind of quietly became the year of Final Fantasy in a way, where like starting off with that for you, I did play a little bit of that. I also went back to 3 after buying that Pixel remaster a while back and beat 3 for the first time, which the Pixel remaster is such a good way to do that because I tried playing 3. Like there's a English patch for the Famicom version on uh yeah, on Famicom. And I played through some of that, but like I'm not gonna say the game's brutal. It's just I wasn't patient enough for it. And the Pixel remaster is great because there are times in those old Final Fantasy games where like you just get wrecked out of nowhere, and in the Pixel remasters, like you can easily just like turn off encounters for a minute so you can escape a dungeon. Like, and I know it's not the pure way to play, but I was just, like didn't care. Like it helped me get through the game and get to the end of it and whatever, and like that was great. And finally being able to see that one, and now like I'm more intrigued to go back to the PSP or DS one, whatever they did, and see like how did they reinterpret this story for a 3D interpretation of it, and what does that look like? And you've recently been going back through 6 Pixel Remaster as well.
Yeah, I think I said it on the Switch 2 episode that we did. Like, I had
Hmm.
been kind of. I've had the itch for like a month or two to go back to 6. And I was like, you know what? Let's just like really emphasize when Switch 2 comes out. I know it's going to be a dry landing based on what we had heard so far.
Yeah,
After I get through Mario Kart, it's going to what am I doing with this console for a little bit. So I
yeah,
figured keep 6 for that, and let that excitement combine with that excitement and go nuts. And it's been fun. I've been riding the wave. Kefka is an asshole. Like,
yeah.
yeah, I knew that game was broken into act like a definitive like the way people talk about that game. I didn't know why per se. So it was cool to like organically see that. Um, but
Where are you
yeah,
at in it now?
I'm collecting my party back. I don't know,
Okay,
like I mean, like I have 5 of them or 4 of them, I think.
okay.
That's kind of where I'm at right now. I know the final dungeon makes you use like 12 characters or whatever. I have been doing the pure experience you just said. I haven't
Yeah, yeah,
turned
yeah.
on the experience ramp, like multiplier or anything like that. I have been grinding for like 45 minutes at a time at various parts, depending on what I need.
Are you using like the fast movement for stuff like that?
I'm just going
Or do
around in
they
a
have?
circle.
Okay,
I
yeah.
mean, I go to a spot. Now I have been seeing like, oh, there was a good spot in the Phantom Woods. There was the ghost character gives you 3 magic AP for those espers. So like, I'll go there. Like I'm not like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
blindly grinding, but
Yeah.
no, I figured when like I have been catering to not a specific 4, but maybe a specific 6, 7. If I need 12 people, I'm gonna need to get some people caught back up,
Level
and
up
I
a little
think
bit.
that's where we're gonna turn on some of the XP boosting.
Yeah, yeah, that would be great for that. Really, really good for that. Yeah, I'm glad you're seeing your way through that one. I I like that one a lot. I like the cast of characters a lot in that. I'm surprised they've not done a remake of that yet, but um
When I saw Advent Children before Rebirth came out, they did. If you saw it in theaters, they did an exclusive like interview with the 3 main. Namara was
yeah,
like part of it. There was I forget the other 2 names.
Nomura Katase and I don't know the other one.
I forget which one
Yeah.
said it, but they said that doing the remake, this trilogy, it probably wasn't possible without Advent Children because they had the basis for their models that they just kind of had to like tweak.
Mm.
I think that's one of the main reasons.
Hmm.
I'm sure they'll spin up something eventually if the money's there, but I think they started with 7 because they were kind of already like halfway there.
Yeah, and 7 was like 7, you know? Like I mean, they did do that Silicon Graphics demo uh like Final Fantasy 7 on N64, and they used all the characters from Final Fantasy 6 to show what it would look like before they completely pivoted. Um but yeah, speaking of 7, I've been playing 7 for the first time properly. Like I have played through Midgar so many times and then never, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been nice to finally like I'd left this save hanging in 2019. I got through Midgar and I was like, okay, well, this is where Rebirth or remake is gonna come out and it'll cover this bit. So as long as I know this, I'm probably good. And then I never went back to it until, like you pointed out, the Switch 2 drought is like not drought, but like Mario Kart World's just not the launch
Some
game, you
Mario
know?
Kart, like you do your
Mario
cups.
Kart
Like I was done the cup. I mean, there I still actually still have the knockout
knockout.
tours, but
Yeah.
like the cups, I got through like 5 hours if that.
Oh yeah, dude. Like you can knock them out pretty quickly. And then it's like, all right, well, let me play a bunch of Switch 1 stuff that is gonna look better and run faster instead, which has been great, but not whatever. So yeah, I've been back in 7. Um and it's cool. I'm like, I got past the part that I didn't know about for a long time. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm like I'm through the spoilers. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm there. I'm not all the way there, but I'm like close to the end. Which is weird. I've never
Where's your location?
I don't remember the name of the town, but I left off where Cloud's gone. Like I'm controlling Tifa with Barret.
Got it.
And yeah, that was the last time I touched it. It's been a few days. I bounced into some other stuff. Um, but yeah, it's a good time. And then I guess besides the crossover, are there any other core Final Fantasy experiences you've had this year?
Core, no, but you did get me Theater Rhythm before the 3DS, and I can't remember the
Oh
name
yeah,
of the specific
Theater Rhythm Final Fantasy Curtain Call.
Curtain Call. That's it. Curtain Call.
Yeah, yeah,
No, that's been fun. I mean, it's a Theater Rhythm game on the 3DS, but I like the questing system in that. I know it kind of spoke to liking the Final Bar one for his own way 2 weeks, 3 weeks,
yeah.
whenever
Switch.
Switch 2 was.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, no, I like the questing. Like it really, like you have the paths and you get the items, and it makes you like on top of there being like I feel like over 100 quest possibilities. It makes you want to kind of revisit some of them. One to level your characters, but two to go the alternate paths and see and get the other
yeah.
items and play the other songs or whatever. But no, I was that was like a nightly like do a quest before bed kind of thing for a while on the 3DS.
Yeah, I really, really like that 3DS game. It's still good. I've been conversely going back to Final Bar Line on Switch 2 because it loads so much faster that it's a lot easier to play through. But yeah. Um, I will also throw out Dissidia because I've been playing so much of that finally, and Dissidia finally clicked. I You might like that first one.
Okay.
I want to see what the first one looks like on PSP, like all the way through. What I've always heard about Duodecim is that everyone always said just play Duodecim because it has the original game in it and more. So I always started with Duodecim and never went back to the original. And now I've gone back, but I never got far enough. So now I'm playing the original, and like it makes it's clicking. I'm going through the campaigns. Like I already finished. I forget. Oh, I did Onion Knight's campaign, and now I'm on Farian's campaign, and it's like they're good little fun combat challenges, and it clicks. It's a good time. Not as good of a time though as Magic the Gathering Cross Final Fantasy, which has like set sales records. It's completely sold out everywhere unless you like want to sell your car or a body part. Um, but yeah, that Final Fantasy set's out, and we've been playing it in Arena primarily. How are you liking that set so far? And that
I
being
think
back in Magic.
it's really cool. I like like on when we were doing our initial like pre-order unboxing and seeing or unpacking digitally, like seeing the names of the cards because I didn't see a lot of the what are they called, spoilers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I didn't see a ton of them. I mean, I knew like the Cloud, I knew like the Cloud, Aerith, they all had cards or
Yeah, they're
whatever.
gonna
But
have yeah.
but like seeing like especially just coming right off of 6, like seeing the suplex one and the card art is
Yeah.
Sabin like
Yeah.
suplexing the train, which is like a meme in itself. There's a lot of fun card art names. like the card descriptions.
Oh
Aerith,
yeah.
when you heal, gains X. When this creature dies, you give those X counters to someone else. It's like, all right.
Yep. A lot of stuff, yeah, like that. I really like there's one card called like Warriors of Light, maybe, and it's a Final Fantasy
Fantasy
3
14.
card.
Oh, sorry.
I'm
Yep.
thinking, yeah, I'm thinking of the 3 one where you like put 4/1/1 heroes on the
Mm.
board and like it fits so much with like three. But yeah, same thing. Like it's been cool playing through these games this year and then jumping into Magic and seeing how well they translated like the lore and the narrative, but also some of the mechanics from the game. Like having like the job system in Magic is wild. Like Magic's not immune or it's not a stranger to having like equipment and things like that. But just like the way it's implemented here, like it just makes so much sense. It's super clean.
And I, who never ever indulges in physical cards, have bought
Yeah,
myself
Jude,
a Y'shtola commander deck.
man,
And my
I
coworker
yeah.
hooked me up today too. I actually, at the time of recording earlier today, I unboxed it, and dude gave me the hold on. Dude gave me sleeves.
Oh, sick.
They're all
Oh, very
protected.
sick.
They're all protected. I actually got to play my first actual in-person Magic game, Commander
So wait,
Magic game.
did you never buy any of the Midnight Hunt stuff when we were?
Physically, no.
Oh, dang,
I was just playing arena,
dang.
but like,
Yeah.
found you know, I feel like this is the one to go in on. This was gonna be
Oh yeah.
the one, and then you don't have them yet because I'm holding them hostage because I'm an asshole, but you're gonna have these little starter decks as well,
I'm
standard.
excited to see how those, yeah,
And then that's
play
the
out.
cool thing about those. I'm not going to show the other side of this card. They should be redeemed, but just in case, you'll
Yeah.
get little codes. They give you two, but the one gives you both decks, and when you put in the other one, it says the code's been used. So
All right.
I don't know
Sure.
why that's the
Yeah,
case, but yeah, no, you get the starter deck stuff in there, which is it's
that's cool.
nice because I mean I know we or unpacked a bunch already, but then you just kind of you don't get a lot of firsts, but you pad like that one. You only having the one card now. You might have like two or three. You really start to kind of get like a deck
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
not just a random hodgepodge of like shit.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like with Midnight Hunt, when we played a few years back, I ended up getting so many cards. I was like playing so much and entering not tournaments, but like drafts and stuff. Like I accrued so much to the point where it didn't take much for me to wild card my way to a complete collection in Midnight Hunt. And having that, then it was like I could do whatever I want. I can make whatever deck I want. I can go any color. I can like it was easy. If I wanted to look up competitive decks and just build them and learn, like could totally do it. So I'm looking forward to having more Final Fantasy cards to do that with. Um, it's fun being back in Magic. We'll see how things shake out. I plan on hanging for a bit, and
I'm around
I'm ready. I'm ready for that Spider-Man set too.
until I see the 10th straight landfall deck. I don't miss that.
No, yeah, there's a couple things that
There's a
happen where I'm like, I'm
uh-uh.
gonna bail.
Yeah, no.
I don't bail though. I make them kill me. But yeah,
Turn 3, 4/4, 3/4, then 2/3 on the board, dealing 15 damage already is disgusting.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. That would be
That's
the thing that
Magic.
makes you flame out. But I'm still having fun, regardless.
How do you feel about Spider-Man and Final Fantasy to an extent? Because like I I feel like once you get to a certain point, like the stuff gets cheap. Like they announced Hank Hill for Fortnite, and like okay, right, but like it just like who isn't in there now? Like there's just so much in there that like I don't care, and it also like it isn't what Fortnite has done has made it like less exciting for crossovers to happen to
Mm.
me. Like like Smash Brothers was like a big deal. We just talked about it a couple weeks ago, and like that was huge that so many characters got to come over. And it always was historically, like when Sonic showed up or Snake or whatever. But like, yeah, now it's to the point where it's like it's weird if you don't have a character in your game, you know?
I'd say Fortnite's the
But like,
outlier. I wouldn't. Uh,
I don't know, man. Sonic Racing Crossworlds is ready to ruin the Sonic Racing franchise later this year. Like,
I remember how mad you were at that announcement. And
I know.
then you saw some of the characters and you got excited. I'm going to remind you.
Sega characters. The fact that they put
Right. No,
Sega characters in
I,
there.
I would hope the listening audience knows your taste and knows what characters I was referring
I'm
to.
just saying, like, if they can keep it Sega, sure, that's what Sonic. Yeah, but
Yeah, but you had Danica
like
Patrick in the first. Well, no, I guess not the first one, but you know what I'm talking about.
Sega character. I know. Um. Anyway, but to Magic, like, how do you feel about? I think Final Fantasy fits, and I think it's a good fit from a gameplay perspective.
So I think if they do it well, like the mechanics, I don't think it's that cheap.
Yeah.
The one of the commander decks I was playing against was a Doctor Who one.
Oh
And
yeah.
the mechanics of that were so wild with the suspensions and the counters and the turn and the count down the timers, and then that card would activate at a cheaper cost than what it would have. Like some of that was like bizarre to see and a lot to wrap my head around, but like that makes sense for Doctor Who.
Sure.
So like if they do that same thing for Spider-Man somehow. I mean I'm not the one designing the game, so I can't think of any fun mechanics to add, but I'd be on board.
Is there a limit?
I'm gonna have to pay an arm and a leg for stuff in Arena. At least the stuff in Arena is always gonna be controlled. Like the
I
physical
agree with
stuff.
that.
The physical
Is
stuff.
there a limit to a crossover? Like if they put Kingdom Hearts in, is that where you like, all right, I'm done, uninstall? Like, what's the?
I mean, we've been there. What was they did some weird thing after Innistrad.
Oh yeah, they went to the Neon Dynasty stuff. It was like total different shift,
Yeah, I
like
mean, I'll
thematically.
leave and
It
I'll
was
come
cool,
back.
but not.
That's fine. If
Yeah,
you leave and come back for long enough, you have a cool Arena opening experience like I did when I had about like
72 decks
48
waiting,
packs.
32 packs. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm having fun with Magic.
Yeah, it's fun. It's been fun to be in.
Any games you've been playing and liking besides stuff from the Final Fantasy series?
A lot. I'd be remiss because I wrote a fucking article about the Evil Within and that
Yeah, you had a
weird
good time
journey.
with those.
Like,
Yeah.
I kind of I touch on it there, but I was just going through like it was the like, oh, I have Call of Duty on Game Pass. Oh, right, Game Pass. There's stuff on console to play. Let me go look through the library. And it was just like 2 weeks of I was just sampling stuff, playing stuff, like nothing, like some stuff would click for like 3 days and I would fall off of it or whatever. And then like the Evil Within just kind of, I don't know, I think was it around the time we were playing Resident Evil 5 and maybe like the horror thing kicked in. I don't know
Maybe.
if that was it or whatever, but I just played that first game and like opening sucked, and I just kind of kept playing. And the second chapter was so different from the first chapter. I was like, all right, it's a weird stealth horror game. And then by chapter 4, you're like guns blazing at times, which was like bizarre. It was playing more like a Resident Evil 4 or 5. And then like 7, like by the time you get to chapter 7, the game's doing something completely different that might not be working. And then you get to chapter 10, it's doing something completely different that's kind of working. It's a weird game. However, if you can get through the first game, you really don't even need the first game for the second game besides some character stuff. But maybe just watch like a 10-minute YouTube recap of the first game. That second game is really good. That's an underrated gem. And I feel like that first game kept people away from the second one, and that's a damn shame because I had a lot of fun playing the second game.
It did me. Like I tried the first one and it just didn't click. I don't know what I was expecting or not.
I think I referenced your like first hour with the game or whatever.
Yeah.
And like I read through it and whatnot. Like I completely agree with everything you said. I for some reason just kept playing and it kind of got better and interesting at times. It was weird. It was like dipping in and out. For every chapter that was like really good, there was a really bad one, and then for every there was like a okay.
Yeah. But I like that you were able to do, because like we always talk about that, like how persevering through something, there's merit to every game. Every game is good, right? There are no bad video games. It's just like, what do you get out of it? And I like that you stuck with it enough to see what it, because like again, you're on Game Pass. You're spoiled for choice. If Game Pass gets boring, we've got 30 games to play this year for the podcast, so pick one and go. Like, also there's your backlog. Also there's everything. There's so much. So the fact that you stuck with it says a lot. Uh,
It was doing like it was weird. It was like doing enough with the story beats during the down times that I was like, where's this leading? And then by
yeah,
the time like the story beats would dry up, it would get like the gameplay would like pick up somehow. Weird experience.
yeah.
That's all I can say. But no, I wholeheartedly recommend playing the second game if you're at all interested in a horror game. It's open world. I know it's a little bit different, but it's fun. The mechanics and stuff that go with it.
One I jumped into an open world video game that I was not expecting to like. I feel like even when I bought it, I was like, I'm gonna be mad that I spent this money, but whatever. Uh, and I ended up like falling in love with Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition on Nintendo Switch, open world RPG. It's one of those games where like anytime someone tells you about it, it's one of those like, oh, just stick with it until XYZ. It's one of, you know what I mean? Like really take your time. And like I just heard so many people talking about it and like love this game. And I've played Chronicles 1. I played that when they did the definitive edition on Switch. You know, remember the power of the Monado. And I liked that game fine enough, but I never bothered with 2 or 3. And then with X, it was like, well, this is the one that has mech suits and it's the one that was trapped on Wii U forever. And like, I should maybe check it out. And it was one of like, did not need to buy it. Did not, I wasn't like starving for time. Like I don't know, probably whatever. I still haven't finished it. I'm like at this point waiting for them to patch it for Switch 2 to see the back half of the game. But the first half, like, not to be that guy, but yeah, if you just take your time, like, and what I mean by take your time is there is a main quest of like marker always available. You kind of can keep going, but sometimes you'll hit it where it's like, oh, you don't have the requirements to start chapter 3. And the requirements are like, make sure that you're level this and make sure you do this side quest. So it's really in your best interest, like, try and clear the board of all the side quests and all of the other, I forget what they're even called now, like event quests, I think they are. Just do those and wander and just like have fun wandering in this open world and then advance the story stuff. Because I think you hear like what I heard is, hey, you get your giant robot in chapter 6. So you're like, okay, well, I gotta get to chapter 6 because especially as you make your way through the game, you're like, boy, running on foot sure does suck. It'd be nice to have a robot. Like, um, but honestly, like getting the robot doesn't change movement that much, not early at least. So, uh, yeah, but I think it's like quintessential JRPG. There's just like so much JRPG in it. It's it does it really really well. But I also really love the way that like these side quests that seem inconsequential are like brutal. Like I told you about the one a couple months back of just like I did something like kind of not really paying attention and thinking like this is just a dumb side quest. And then like I got back and they're like, "Hey, that guy is dead, and it's probably because you screwed up." And it was like, "Wait, what? Okay, can you go tell his wife that he's dead?" And it's like, "What? What do you mean? Like that's your next objective?" I'm like, "Oh, there's some stuff in this game. It's good. It's a good time, and I think it was a good send off for the Switch. I think if even if they don't patch it for Switch 2, I think it's still worth getting. But if they do, man, I that game's gonna be really really hot on that game or on that console. But just playing on the original Switch, being able to like do that Switch experience of like there were a couple of weekends where I had nothing going on and I just play it all day. Then at night, like didn't feel like being down here anymore. So like pop it out of the dock, go upstairs, eat dinner, play more of it laying on a different couch, like in handheld mode, dock it again, play. Yeah, it's really good. You've also spent a good amount of time with another massive RPG.
Yeah, I was gonna pivot and say I haven't played a JRPG, but the new genre, the FRPG for French role playing game.
Have you seen the other terms for it? Because I credit where it's due.
What are the other
I'm
terms?
happy. JRPG, like the J apostrophe. That's been a good one. Uh oh man, what was the other one?
It's a fucking wee wee somehow.
No, there was one that was like Geneseo
Oh,
Coden. Like they were a
okay.
play on Suikoden and yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's the French RPG.
Um, I don't know what to. So what I think I made it clear on in years that I love a traditional turn-based, not strategy, not like Fire Emblem, like just turn-based RPG. Like I like to see my turn order, or I like to kind of have a good idea of how the turn order shakes out,
Yeah.
um, and just like think about things and pop, 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 and just kind of keep going. Final Fantasy X is like the pinnacle one that I always refer to. That's like the chef's kiss. There's other good ones like Darkest Dungeon is really good if you want to chase
Yeah.
that brutal difficulty one. Shin Megami Tensei kind of scratches that itch with the way they do the double turn with weaknesses and stuff like that. But Final Fantasy X has always been the one, mostly because of the Sphere Grid, but it's a turn-based game. Um, this is the 10-2 I never got. And man, it's so good. It oozes style. Like I don't even like French culture. It's like not my thing. I'm
Yeah,
one of
yeah,
those
yeah.
people that make fun of them for losing multiple world wars. Like whatever, I don't care. But like, dude, this game oozes style. I think I've become a fan of France because of this game.
That's
Um,
funny.
and like I don't, it's turn based. It has an overworld. You go in these areas to become more more detail where you're running around a little bit more. Um, and then just on top of just the main mechanics and the way you level and the systems within the leveling where you get these trinkets, but if you win enough battles with these trinkets, you can unequip them but keep the main kind of benefactor of them by using Lumina points that you get from leveling or getting this other currency that you redirect between your characters. There is a lot going on in the leveling system.
And a lot of like synchronicity too. Like,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
There's a lot of different play styles. I'm sure there's like a max one. I've seen like the one hit I can't the main oh my god, Marielle, is that the main character? I'm losing it. Anyway, there's like I've seen like the one hit KO like build with her and it's like fucking insane. Mael. So like all that's crazy. And then you like are playing and the story is fucking bonkers. Like
I've heard a lot of people say I cried, I cried, I cried.
I didn't cry, but I like there was times where I was like, "Oh,"
Yeah.
jaw drop like, "Oh. Oh. Oh."
Hmm.
It's a fun ride. I think there's times where it you can't keep that pace forever. I think there are times where
Yeah,
there's
every
lulls in the
game.
story and whatever. But I think like just going like where the story forces you to go during those lulls and like the stuff you're doing is a lot. It's so interesting because they throw like the mixes they do. Like there is like one level early one that's like you're like underwater but you're not. It's just the aesthetic of being
Oh yeah.
underwater and like the characters even acknowledge that. There's a lot of like brutal optional bosses. A lot of like challenge areas. Like this game. This is one of those games like you shouldn't be platforming in, but they somehow put platforming puzzles as like optional quest. It's like it's an interesting game from beginning to end. And I like I think just recommend it across the board at least to try And, if it doesn't catch you within the first 3 hours, I would say maybe drop it. But like this,
How could it not?
I hate that person. And you just said like you hate that person too. I really hate that person that says you got to give a show 10 hours, but trust me, episodes 11 and
Yeah,
12 are
yeah.
like worth it. This is one of those times.
I mean, I that goes back to though, like same thing with the Evil Within 2 or 1 rather, is like any of those shows where someone said like you've got to give it until whatever, like it's not that you have to, it's just like the show's good if you want it to be, right?
Yeah,
And like,
yeah. I'm like,
yeah,
let the story kick in a little bit. I think it's cool from the start, just like because you
yeah,
don't like. I mean, pretty much like half of the town dies, but
yeah,
it's a known thing, and you're like, why is this happening? And that's kind of like what is half the battle in this. It's like, why is this happening? And but like just that, like they don't tell you what's going on. You just kind of see it happen, and then you're going on this expedition to try to stop it. And it's like, oh, so you're 33, and then you kind of realize like from talking to the townspeople right before going, like, yeah, you're not like 33 counting up, you're
mm,
33 counting down from 100,
mm.
and you're like, oh. And then it's really cool. So then that really encourages like you finding the codex from the past expeditions and seeing what they ran into that made them fail. And like it's just all this is just building lore into the world that you're in. And yeah, I like it's like right up my alley, the gameplay. And then
I love, yeah.
you just add in like the crazy lore, story, world. It's like a perfect recipe for me personally, but I can't recommend it enough. Especially if you have Game Pass, like you gotta at least try it.
Yeah. Well, and you kept going back to it too, right? Like you cleared it and then went back for the optional stuff and
Yeah, I was like, bring on the secret bosses. Like, where are the areas at? Where haven't I been? And the game, like in the overworld, you'll kind of see stuff. Like very early one, you'll see like, oh, you're supposed to go underwater here, but you can't. And, like you can't even go underwater until the end of the game. Like
mm,
end of the
yeah,
game.
yeah, yeah.
So like there's obviously like secret stuff like underneath the water in some
That's
areas.
cool.
There's like big bad bosses like all like just in the overworld. You'll go to them early and just no chance.
That
Um,
was something I loved about Xenoblade too. I forgot to mention, but like when you're walking, like everything has a number over its head, like what level it is,
mm,
and like and the a color that dictates basically how hard they'll murder you. And you can very easily run into something you're not supposed to. You get a side quest that's like, "Hey, go pick up this jelly from the middle of this field," and you're like, "Got it." You get there, and there's things like 6 times your level, and you're like, "What am I supposed to do?" Oh, I guess I'll sneak. I can sneak. Oh, okay, sneaking works. Like yeah, that kind of stuff is always fun where it's just like there's something there's like a lot to come back to and you know it, right?
yeah. But no, I like this is I said it after just completing the main camp, not even doing the side stuff, which also was added extra lore to the whole thing. It was probably going to be my game of the year. Hands, I don't see anything coming close to this, and I'm aware of what's coming in like, or maybe
Yeah.
is it out yet? Something with the a game director of mine that is around the corner if it's not out already. I can't keep track of my dates.
It's out.
Yeah, yep, I'm aware
But
that's
still
out.
yeah. Yeah, I'd be surprised to hear you like something more than that knowing how much you dug that one. You and I got to go on some expeditions together in the wilds. You got your first taste of Monster Hunter. I'm curious. I mean, we'll do a deeper dive on Monster Hunter later on in the year after some more content. But like, we've both fallen off. Which I you got your taste of what a Monster Hunter is and can be. I got the new next gen one that I've been waiting for a couple of years now. For me, I feel like there's just not much to do post game, and I've been trying to think like, was there that much to do before? And like, I don't, I don't know, because like the whole hook of Monster Hunter is always just keep running and keep, you know what I mean? Like keep
Yeah.
doing the same fights over and over again. Just like, and I don't know why I fell off this one so hard comparatively, but in turn, it's made me go back to Generations on Switch too. Because guess what? It loads really fast, and I never finished Generations because it loaded so slowly on Switch that it was hard to play. But now it loads lightning fast. You can get through areas really quickly. Um, and it's fun going through that grind again. So I've been playing a bit of that. But what did you think of your first Monster Hunter?
It's fun. I get it now. I think I always wanted to play that like a quick action game, and it's not. It's methodical.
Yeah,
It was to the point where like it's like as slow as like old school Dark Souls, not like Bloodborne, Dark Souls
yeah,
3,
yeah,
Elden Ring. Um, no, it's fun. The story mode could be a little bit better because there's a lot of just like, all right, talk to Alma. All right, you're gonna talk, then go hit that thing.
yeah,
But like what honestly though, the game got better once I started rerunning stuff, looking for the materials, scouting out, like seeing the live monsters that are on. It's like, oh, I could actually hit that. Let's
yeah.
go pursue it. No, it's fun. It's a challenge. Like there are some monsters that it's a coin flip if I'm or if we're playing we're coming out of it.
Yeah.
But no, it's fun. I get it. I like the I don't think I'm gonna get one of every weapon, but like it's fun chasing like two or three pieces of equipment, whether it is a weapon, whether it is an armor set. That was like one of the most fun parts of this was like as you were going through the main story and you got to the different chapters and then like a little bit more of that list of armor would be revealed and you saw some of the shit at the bottom and you're like, that is cool as fuck. I want to like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then realizing you have to play the monster that's probably the most difficult 5 times. Maybe it could be 10.
Yeah. But then like my problem is like I felt like a lot of these monsters are so easy to jump back into. Like it's pretty simple to like find someone playing against that, jump in and get the thing that I needed that like I don't know, they're just I was I was getting through things too quickly. So I'm eager to see like more content, new monsters get added, that kind of stuff, and more crossovers. I never went back for the Street Fighter crossover, and maybe I should have checked that out, but um, those things are always fun when they throw those in, and you just get to mess around. I don't know. Um, the other two big experiences I've had this year that I'll call out, and I'll maybe close out on these two for me. Uh, I finally beat Session, which I didn't know you could beat Session. And I guess technically I didn't because there's like a historic challenges mode or whatever where basically like they reference all of these like classic things. It's like you'll see them as you're playing. Like if you kick flip a gap in the Brooklyn Banks, it pops up and it's like, "Oh, here's you just did the Mike Carroll kickflip or whatever it is, right?" And it's like, "Oh, okay." There's like I don't know, 1,200 of those that you can
Holy
do, and it's
shit.
like it might not. It's a lot, and like I, I got a lot of them just because like just by happenstance, right? Like you 360 flip in the right area enough times, like you're gonna trigger something.
Right.
But yeah, that I guess is the real end game. But in terms of like clearing each of the objectives from talking to whoever, I did all of that finally, and like checked out some other DLC, and like that game's getting patched this summer too, which is exciting. Finally, because I thought they abandoned it, and I think they did for a bit, maybe I don't know. Uh, but like, there's been a lot of skateboarding this year, not just from Session, but also with Tony Hawk coming, and then Skate coming. Like it's skateboard time. But it also the other time well spent was Tokyo Extreme Racer 2025, which got its early access release in January or February. And dude, I mean, the only reason I stopped playing it is because we're playing Tokyo Extreme Racer 3 for the summer, and I kind of wanted to just spend my time in that more than this. But like having played a ton of 3 now for the podcast, we'll have that episode up next month for you out there. Like the new one is everything that this one was with extra stuff. Like I can't say too much because I don't want to spoil too much for Matt yet, but like there's one new change that they added to this that I haven't seen in older ones, and I haven't played every single iteration, but it's so cool. But the thing I love about this is like it is playable on practically any hardware. You put it at low enough resolution, like it's Steam Deck playable. If you've got one of those, you can run this game pretty easily. I think it's 20 or 25 on Steam, and if you buy it ahead of like full 1.0 release, you'll just get that whatever it ends up being. You're in. They've talked kind of about console stuff, but not really. But that should be coming.
I'm sure it'll be something sooner or later.
Yeah, I'm desperate for that. But that game is just like, dude, you can just hang out, drive around the Tokyo Highway forever, forever, forever. That's been a good time. Any other big ones for you?
Did you want to touch any more on Mario Kart? I know I kind of mentioned it briefly.
Nah,
Just Mario Kart.
dude, I like keep trying to go back to it, and I'm bored. It sucks. Maybe we need to play online more.
I think we just need to play online more. Also, we found a hack for online if you don't like doing the if you like doing laps and not a fucking trail. Hit that random button.
You do have to hit the random button, but everybody's got to hit the random button in order to
increase your chances to get your friends to play and hit the random button. The multiplayer system's fucking terrible, and there's no Roy. That's my review.
Dude, I know. Yeah.
The
bigger kick with Roy is I got a sticker referencing Roy, and in one of the levels I saw like Roy's hot oil or something like over on the side of one of the.
Well, I'm not gonna sit here and complain because there's probably a listener reviewer or two that is still wanting Waluigi in a Smash, and they got him as an assist trophy. So I think that's the biggest middle finger that Nintendo's ever given to a fan base.
And you know what though? In fairness, like there's gonna be a Nintendo Direct somewhere in the next year or two where there's like, and the Koopalings are back, and like you'll see them all racing across the thing. You'll have a they will be back.
Audible yell across America from Baltimore, Maryland.
But that's like, I think that's the thing where I know the game got a lot of like, that was the headline is like Mario Kart World is $80. Sure, it is, but when this game ends up, I'm hoping that $80 price tag means we're gonna get support on this with like free content updates for the next 5 years or whatever. Like if that's what this turns into, then yeah, I can't imagine you don't end up with.
Yeah, we'll see. That character select screen is also fucking terrible.
It's not good at all. that needs a fix.
Yeah, I mean it's a Mario Kart game. I have fun playing the cups. Still have fun doing knockout tours. Sure. Online's fun when I'm playing all myself by myself and paired up successfully with you. Sometimes pairing's a nightmare. But no. It's a Mario Kart. I didn't really dabble with the open world stuff. I know I'm gonna have to for the mirror mode at some point. I kind of beat the cups and haven't really picked it up too much since.
Yeah, it leaves a little bit to be desired.
We'll see what the Kong does for us. I got one more quick hitter, then I'm gonna end on a bigger one. But so Rematch is out, and it's. At the time this coming out, it's been out for a little bit. I haven't played the main release as of recording, but the 2 betas I played are incredibly fun. This is going to sound stupid, and I think I've been saying this for a while, and Joe already knows what I'm about to say. It is Rocket League, but with people. So it's just soccer. It's
right.
It's third person, which is like the unique thing. It's not FIFA, and you only control one character. So like Rocket League, you gotta depend on your team. There isn't a one-on-one mode, which there should not be. It's soccer. You have to go play with your team. But no, it's from the team that did Sifu and Absolver. I haven't played either of those games, but I heard good. I don't remember the stuff on Absolver. I heard good things about Sifu.
Yeah,
it's just fun. It makes a lot of sense. As someone that grew up playing soccer, it's a lot of fun. So yeah, I will be playing countless hours in that. I think I put in 15 hours combined on the 2 beta weekends. So, yeah, more where that came from. And then the big one, I'm not going to spend too much time on it because I think we'll talk about more at the end of the year. Doom the Dark Ages came out. I beat it, and I have
I
fun
fell
with it.
off. Yeah, I fell way off, but
I had fun with it. However, I did not beat that in like 3 sittings. I think it took 10. No, how many levels are there now? It's like 20 some, right?
22
It
levels.
probably took me somewhere between 16 to 18 sittings
Wow.
because the game is mentally exhausting.
Yeah.
And this is just on Ultra Violence. I'm not playing on Nightmare or anything like that. But like I've described it to a couple people, Joe, you're one of them this way. Like within any 10-second period, your thought process has to you're thinking, let me hit the guy with the shotgun. Oh, I see a green. Let me parry the green. Oh, let me throw my shield at this other thing that's floating in the air that's driving me crazy. All right, let me zoom up, hit him, shield bash him or whatever. Hit him with the shotgun. Oh, there's another green. Hit the green. Oh, let me switch weapons. There's a plasma shield. Let me shoot the plasma shield. Make them all explode. Oh, this one has armor. Let me fucking pull out rockets or my super shotgun. Bang. All right, let me power charge right back to him. Oh, there's a green. Hit the green. Oh, there's another green. Hit the green. Hit flail, get the ammo, critical strike, there's a green, hit the fucking green, and you're zipping around the map, and all this fucking happens in 10 seconds at some points at this game. It is exhausting. Now, it's a very good game. It's just not my favorite Doom, but it's like early, like ask me for a score right now. It's like a solid 8.5 out of 10.
Is it being slept on, do you think?
A little bit, because it came and went. I just think like, and from Hugo Martin, like the way he said it, like Doom 2016 was this, Eternal was this, and now the Dark Ages is this. Like none of them have been like a sequel based on their like mechanics. But yeah, the small amount of lore that I understood, I thought was cool, especially by the end when I kind of like started really connecting some pieces to Eternal. Not that I'm chasing like the lore in Doom, but I did do a little bit of wiki reading afterwards. And I was like, oh, that's actually kind of cool that happened. Went right over my head, but
Yeah.
No, it's just it's a good game. It's just a mentally exhausting one, and each of these, if you're trying to 100% the levels, they could take about an hour for the first time, and after that hour, it was tough for me to go to the next level, just because I need a break from this and I need to play something else. That's like not.
And it's such a stark contrast to like we just did Doom 2016, but also like in the lead up to us playing Doom 2016, I also played through a bunch of Doom 1993. Like it was.
No, it's just I think there's
slower.
There's just a line of like how many mechanics are too many mechanics. I think this is a victim of like one too many mechanics.
Yeah,
but
it's a bummer.
It's not. I think it's still a good game. It's not like
I know.
It's not like the 9.5 or 10 that we've gotten from Eternal and 2016. It's just a small step back, but it's not a bad thing either. I think there are going to be people that this is their favorite Doom, though. I think it plays so different.
I could see that.
I think it's going to be I think I'm still going to stand by Eternal as my favorite. You're going to stand by 2016. I think it's going to be that, but like...
Yeah. This is
maybe Mark enters the conversation and Dark Ages is his, like...
Yeah. Let's do a brief check-in with some news stories from the year. I want to start with what sucks. What bad things do you
WB sucks ass.
Okay, here's the fun thing. The first thing I wrote down when I wrote the question what sucks about 2025 was no DC Comics video games in sight. And I was just writing that generally speaking. And then like looking through headlines, I was like, oh right, because I forgot that WB murdered
exists
Monolith and that Wonder Woman game.
I'm like the Wonder Woman game. Like, yeah, sure. Who knows what the state of that game was? I'm
And
so pissed
I
at Monolith.
understand that 100%. Like, and I understand, like, if a project takes that long and it's not like coming to fruition, I get it. Like, it's still a business at the end of the day, but it just like what really sucks for me, Matt, is that I've always preferred DC comic books, and I appreciate Marvel stuff, but I'm not like all the way in the way I'm with DC. And you look at Marvel, and they just keep going. Like, there's so many games. There was like I don't like we had that Nintendo Direct where they had the Cosmic Invasion beat 'em up announced. Like, obviously Marvel Rivals has been talk of the year for a lot. Was that this
Oh,
year or did that come out?
December, but
Okay.
close enough.
But still, like, it's carried into this year and
Oh
everyone's
yeah.
still,
Mm-hmm.
way in it. Um there's just like no end. Marvel Snap still exists. There's now Marvel Tokon.
Tokon. I was
Tokon?
gonna say, are you gonna say the big one from
Yeah,
Sony? Yeah.
like there's so much. And like name one DC game that's coming out. No, you know what? There isn't one. But I keep getting like terrible ads for like awful mobile games that like are just trash. Like there was one, there's like a Vampire Survivors clone that I think is just like farming data from your phone when you play. It's not good. Like it's just a bad time. It's like such a disappointment knowing not even like I know everybody loves the Arkham series, and I do too. They were a great return to not return, but like remember, like superhero games sucked. You know what I mean? Or they were like fine at best. So Arkham Asylum was the one that was like, no, 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 these can be good games and have superheroes. And like, sure, I get that. And the Arkham series was that, but like the characters themselves have so much more potential and story and everything. And like, it's baffling to me that it just, there's nothing, man. Nothing.
Yeah, they suck ass.
Yeah,
I'm so pissed about Monolith because
that too. Yeah,
like
that's,
Nemesis Systems just.
yep.
I've had two
Yeah.
games with like the thing I tell is like one of my favorite things in all of video games, and it's so frustrating. And like those Lord of the Ring games are good. I wish it wasn't on the Lord of the Rings property because I'm like not like I like Lord of the
Yeah.
Rings. I'm like not that guy though with Lord of the Rings.
Sure.
One a Wonder Woman game, it sounded great.
I know.
But
It,
yeah, damn.
I'm not, and like, there's movement, right? Like, obviously, the DC stuff on film is entering its new era, so there's still jury's still out on that. If things go well, then great, right?
I
Sure,
know, but this is like the fourth time I've heard that.
stay tuned. But also, like, they just did a corporate shift, right?
Yeah.
So there's that change, and like, my point with that is like, it could lead to things, but when? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, game development doesn't take 6 months anymore.
no, like hopefully they've been having these conversations for years and what I don't know. I just
Yeah.
what else sucks?
The whole marathon debacle. I know
Yep.
that's like fresh in the oven, but yeah, that one. How the fuck? How?
Dude.
I'm not even. You know what? I'm not even mad at the attempt to steal art because, dude, I get it. You got deadlines. You know, you got deadlines, and the corporate boss is about to beat you down and lay off. You're seeing fucking your buddy at WB Games get laid off. I get it, dude. You got deadlines to meet. Don't make it so fucking blatantly obvious. Obviously, I say that in jest. But no, that is so bad. And like,
no, I mean, there's that line that everyone says, like, good artists or good artists borrow, great artists steal, right? I get it. I understand the sentiment, but like, you don't steal like that. Like, that's not the way to do it.
dude, the signature, like, they're fucking like,
Yeah,
it's so bad.
awful.
And like, as excited as I was for that game, that whole thing soured me so much.
Yeah, same.
I mean, I never got
100%.
into the alpha or the beta. I forgot what stage
No,
it was
me
in,
neither. But I was watching people play it because I was so stoked
yeah,
on it.
yeah. But Yeah, what a shit show that is.
No, as soon as the art thing happened, everything deflated. Like, and it's tough because I don't know. The only thing I think in my head that would like make things right for me mentally is if they truly did just hire that artist and like went full on in that direction. Even then, it's still always going to be there, right? It's never going to go
Yeah.
away. But that would at least be like, okay, well, we're already using your art, so come join us. We'll pay you and make more art for us. Like, but
Here's the
barring that,
here's the good news. They have all kinds of original assets from that Concord game that no one played.
oh man,
We can go to the planet of Tefalia, where welcome to the world of Tefalia, where
I I don't need to be there.
thievery is at its height. I don't know.
They could, yeah, that's good. They could. I don't know. Look, maybe this delay does something for it. The language in the delay saying something about like returning to the original style of Marathon or something. Like they never really addressed the art stuff in there outside of that one line that was sort of like maybe they're gonna change everything visually about it. But then like if you change everything visually about it, like what's the identity of that game anymore? Because that was so much of what it's bizarre. Like from the alpha, the hardcore players of that genre thought it was too easy. The people who don't play that genre at all thought it was too hard and not fun. Okay, what's left? It looks cool. You stole that. All right. Like what is it then? It shoots like a Bungie game. All right, I can go play another one of those for 5 minutes until I get bored of it. And
Yeah, I'll just play
like,
Halo Infinite. I know Infinite's not Bungie, but like I'll just play
yeah.
Infinite if I want to chase that.
No, I
Yeah.
mean, dude, when I was trying to scratch the marathon itch and not getting into the alpha, I reinstalled Destiny 2 and played that for like an hour and regretted my time and said maybe I don't need to play marathon. And then they
Those are the two I had,
conversely,
Joe.
huh?
Those are the two I had.
Okay, good. We had the exact same
I
two.
had a
So
feeling.
then what rules? What's good about 2025 so
Game
far?
Informer coming back?
I have Game Informer coming back on my list alongside with Giant Bomb going independent. I think those two
Oh,
are kind
I
of
forgot about Giant Bomb. I would have had
that
that
was
too.
another good one. A weird one because it's like, you know,
Yeah,
it's a
a,
weird
but
and all the
good
like
for them.
core founders are gone. But yeah, like I'm happy that Giant Bomb didn't just end up becoming like a wiki page
Rooster Teeth,
or a
which I know there's rumors of them coming back underneath original
that
ownership.
try it. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but
moving
like
too.
that took a lot longer than the Giant Bomb thing, though, or is taking longer than the Giant
For
Bomb
sure.
thing.
No, the
So
Giant Bomb thing was like unprecedented. It's like the only good
it
thing
was like a
fandom's
week
ever
later,
done.
wasn't it? Like 2 weeks?
I think maybe two. Yeah. Um, but yeah, super fast and like super rad because that the site's had so much history. Its site influenced so much of what we do, what everybody does. Like it huge. And for like it seemed like that was about to get swallowed up and just become like a redirect for a fandom page, which would have
Yep.
really sucked.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's I'm happy they're back. And yeah, Game Informer is back and the magazine's coming back.
Dude,
And
I'm like so happy. Like I don't, I miss the magazine culture except for a little bit, but I have a subscription. Like I'm
yeah,
ready to go. I'm full on.
same. No, like I would get magazines at grocery stores. I never had a subscription to any of these. Like I think maybe I did Nintendo Power for a year, but I never had any of the subs until way later. And then Game Informer, because I've been like getting old magazines a bunch, I was like, hey, Game Informer still exists. I should sign up. And last year for my birthday, I treated myself to a 2-year sub. I was like, I'm doing it, dude. I'm going all in. Let's Game Informer it up. Like, let's get a physical thing in the mail each month. And then like, I don't know. I forget what day they found out, but it was like 3 or 4 weeks after my birthday, and it was just like, stick. Don't even have my first episode or first issue. Uh, so I did end up getting that first issue and a
You
refund.
should be careful where you sub. First Coke,
I
now
know.
Game Informer. You might be careful where you throw that
Kill
money, dude.
everything. Kill everything. But hey, yeah, Game Informer is back. I'm excited to get magazines from them. Um, the other thing I have written down here is the Switch 2 is real because that's been a long time
Oh
running, and like
yeah, I guess that
we
all
didn't know
was
that.
this year. Yeah.
Yeah, like technically we didn't know until 2025.
Terrace
And
threw a
along,
small wrinkle in that, which is the bad news, but
yeah, but it's here. We have them, so we're covered for now. We
as
just wait and
of
see.
recording, all the Switches I purchased have found their homes. I've been reimbursed, more
Hey,
importantly, and we
that's good.
are rocking and rolling.
Uh, we've had a couple of good directs, and I don't mean Nintendo Direct specifically, but like that State of Play was really good,
Yeah.
and Sony never has a good show. Nintendo had a really good final direct before the Switch 2 direct, and that was where we learned we're getting a new Tomodachi Life and a new Rhythm Heaven.
Right. Yeah.
I'm super stoked on both of those. And then the other one, well, I'll let you go because you might have this, and I'll let you. You have another exciting news
Is
story
this
from
something that
2020?
ended a show?
It sure is.
Dude, Resident Evil 9, it's fucking real.
Yeah, finally.
I've been going down, I don't want to say a revisit because I may have missed it because I didn't know it was canon. But now it's canon. So now I got to catch
Oh
up with some
yeah,
lore from
I know. I
Outbreak.
still need to go there, but yeah.
Um, no, man, what a fucking. I got bait and switched. I'll be happy to admit it.
No, me too.
Because
I
we
was
were both saying, like, it looks like Resident Evil, but they said wait longer.
right. They tell you midway through the show, like, no, we're not ready yet. Then they show you something that's very clearly a Capcom game, and it was like, okay, so what are they doing? This is a new
This
thing?
doesn't look
Like,
like Animusha.
yeah. Um, those are the big news stories of the year so far, I think, or at least the stuff that stands out to me and you. Um, real quick before we look at upcoming releases we're still stoked for. Anything that's come out this year that you've not touched that you're like, I gotta get to that.
All right. Well, if it's like that, no. I
But
think I've hit everything. I was gonna say, like, I will eventually dabble with Civ 7,
yeah, okay.
and then I've been one of those people that's been waiting for everything to come out. I, for some reason, thought Chapter 4 was the last one, but I still have one more chapter. I will eventually get the Deltarune.
Oh yeah, you should. I haven't played it, but I've been hearing nothing but good things about it.
But
So
I feel like Chapter 4 or 5 comes out.
could. I
I
think
made
there's
it
gonna be
this
seven
far.
though.
Is there 7?
Yeah,
Motherfuckers.
because
All right,
it's
I'll
meant
start
to
playing.
be each one is a day in the week, I believe. So yeah, buddy. I
Yeah,
know.
I guess I'll start playing now before it becomes a
Yep.
150-hour RPG experience.
I know. I've got two that are on my like I gotta play these. One is the 100 line Last Defense Academy. It just something about it seems cool. This is the one by the the guy who made 999 and the guy who made Danganronpa. They made this and it's like meant to be really really wild.
I
Like
can see that
both
being
of their
good.
styles of it seems like really good, but it's long.
Oh,
Like
shit.
it's you're I from what I understand, like there's like 100 different stories that can happen depending on what you choose. Like it's they both said like, what if we put everything into one game? So like it's that game, and it's the only reason I haven't touched it because I'm like I don't have time, man.
What's the
And
fuck?
it came out like right when I bought Xenoblade Chronicles X, and I was like, you know,
What was that? The one from last year, the 99 mini games. The one who did the Spelunky guy.
oh UFO 50.
Oh, 50. Sorry, that was the number.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
just like one of those things where you just gotta pick a story and go.
No, dude. Like it's one of those ones where like the more you play, the more story makes sense. Like
All
everyone
right,
who's played this has been like, you know,
that's
Eric
cool.
Wareheim exploding. But so I want to play it eventually. I just time. This might be when you're resubbing to Final Fantasy 14. I might be picking up the 100 line. And then the Midnight Walk, which is that little like claymation VR game that came out on PS5. Um, I gotta play that. I gotta put my VR money where my mouth is.
I was gonna say you gotta support.
Gotta do them where I can. But I want to check that out. It looks very Tim Burton-esque. The only other thing I've written down, and I don't think I actually want to play it, and you and I talked about the logistics of it. I can't believe Elden Ring Night Ring has captured my attention for some reason. I'm not gonna, like, we would both need to commit to it and find a third person, and it's just, I don't think it makes logical sense.
You know, the sad part is if you go to PlayStation, I know a third person. He will carry us too. He will carry us single-handedly. That was told told the other day. He's completed 6 of the 8.
Oh man. All right. Well, we'll see.
I think he's on PS5. I think.
Okay. I don't hate it, but
I'm not eager to.
No, me neither. Especially with Duskbloods and
in 2026.
I'm just saying, like, if I need to scratch this itch, it's coming down the line. Speaking of coming down the line, what's left on the release calendar that you know of for this year that you're like, I can't wait?
There's a lot of, like, I can wait, but I'll probably play it. We're in a weird episode for this game because it is technically out as this comes out, but it's not out at the time of recording. Death Stranding 2 on the beach.
On the beach. Yeah, dude.
I will probably play that. I am hoping I have a Elden Ring. What was the expansion? Remember where I was like,
Shadow of Erdtree?
Yeah, the Erdtree. Yes.
Where you
I was
were
like out for like a week and a half, and like right up until a week and a half prior, and then I just kind of jumped in the game and everything just clicked. Now, I don't see me jumping back into Death Stranding 1, but maybe like a release trailer like 3 days prior. I see Elle Fanning do something crazy. I'm like, all right, I'm back in.
It could fit, yeah.
Maybe I see a Red Bull energy can this time around, not Monster. Switch allegiances. Now that we connected, we're drinking Red Bulls, you know?
He did say he had to make some changes after fan feedback that the game was too good.
That scares the fuck out of me, too. It's not a headline I want to see.
I love that headline. That made me so happy.
But there's like other things, though. Like, I don't know. I probably just need to rewatch that first trailer again, where like dude puts on Solid Snake headband and fucking Metal Gear Rex head goes on that fucking thing coming out.
There's
like,
some.
It's I don't know.
They do some weird stuff.
I will probably play that by year's end when we recap at the end of the year. It might not be day one, but it will get seen. It will get seen.
Yeah. There's 3 Metroidvanias coming out this summer that all look sick. You've got your Ninja combo. July and August with Ninja Gaiden, Ragebound, and Shinobi Art of Vengeance.
Forgot about those.
Say no more.
I forgot about Shinobi. But
I'm also really intrigued by Shadow Labyrinth coming out in mid-July. You may not know Shadow Labyrinth because it doesn't have the word Pac-Man in it, but this is the new Pac-Man Metroidvania where you're playing as like a weird guy in a cloak who's got a little Pac-Man companion.
Okay.
I'm gonna buy it. It looks like weird and like it looks like an Xbox Live Arcade game. You know what I mean?
So nothing wrong with that.
No, I'm thrilled on it. So I'm looking forward to that. The other big summer release, which is out in a month for me, Eartheon, the long-awaited Yuzo Koshiro ancient developed Sega Genesis shooter. Top down, I think, might be side scrolling. I don't even remember which direction you move the ship in, but it's a brand new Sega Genesis game from Koshiro in 2025. The actual Genesis version got delayed till 2026, which is kind of a bummer, but this will be out on like Switch and other major platforms at the end of July. So I'm stoked.
I have a couple quick hitters here. 2 that are Ratatan.
Yes. Yeah.
I'll be there. I'm ready. Pokemon Zendaya, or
Yeah,
or commonly referred to as Z to A.
sure, for the layman.
Yeah. I kind of liked Arceus. I want to see. I'm buying it. I
Yeah,
kind of want to see what happens with the second one of these, especially on a
yeah.
Switch 2 where it looks like it might run.
Well, and you, as a big Pokemon lore expert, should appreciate that this one's doing potentially doing weird stuff. Because
Okay.
X and Y had some real weird. Real, I haven't gone there yet. When we're getting closer, I will find and I will share the nightmare lore videos of Pokemon X and the like ancient war that happened 6,000 years ago or something. And there's this guy who's still around, and
I
he's
still have 6 hours of my Outbreak playthrough I'm watching.
stay tuned. But yeah, there's weird stuff, and they might get weird with the story in this. Who knows?
Um, College Football 26,
Hey, yeah,
maybe. I'm not
yeah.
sure.
You gotta be careful.
I
You
know.
lost some time to that one
I
last year.
know. I know. Also, like another EA Sports game I'm buying yearly. That seems weird.
I know,
That
but
this,
hey, if they're good,
we'll see. We'll see. I hate it that the Xbox conference, the core conference, ended on this. I fucking hate it. It was the most disappointing thing I think all week from that whole thing.
yeah.
If Blackout 2 comes back,
Hmm.
that's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
Verdansk was fun. I had my fun. It was what I thought it was going to be. A nostalgia trip that the hackers came back. They got to fix their anti-cheat. It's bad. It's bad. It's
Yeah.
bad. It's bad. It's bad. If they fix that and Blackout 2 is like, they refresh it enough, the shake it up enough,
Yeah.
I'm in. We'll see.
It
We'll see.
Blackout 2, you won't need Black Ops I though, will you? You can just
And we'll see. It's probably gonna be the same thing where you need the guns, but like, yeah, core Blackout was like no loadouts. It was like drop on the ground, pick up your shit, and go.
yeah.
I
All right.
kind of want them to get away from the loadout thing. That's what makes I mean, that's how they make their money, though. They sell the bundles that you put into the loadout, so that way you skip the grinding. But if you grind, you put in hours, and that's encourage you to get cosmetics. It's a fucking money printing machine. I guess it doesn't print enough money, though. So
Yeah.
here we are. And then I'm just gonna double down. I know it's in February of 26, but fucking Resident Evil 9. Fuck
Yeah,
it,
dude.
Resident Evil 9. That's my most anticipated game.
We can quietly say that we have a road to Resident Evil 9.
We
ahead of
do.
us. So there's things to be excited about for this year too.
I know.
Yeah.
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 I'm gonna take a breath because I know what's ahead. Resident Evil 9 is still my most anticipated game. I maybe have climbed the horror curve. I played through Resident Evil 7 earlier in the year. I didn't mention that at the top, but like I played through that. There's nothing new to talk about there. I just played it. Resident Evil 9, that's my most anticipated game. That game.
Well, yeah, you've played more of them now than you haven't, right? So
I think
7, 8, 5. You played 6 back in the day. 4 remake, or that counts. But just keeping numerically, so you just haven't played 3 and 1. You played most of 2, right? Or you
played
finished
most of
2 remake.
I still have a lot to go in 2 remake on a save. I know what that game is though. I played a
Either
lot
way.
of. I got to the lab in 2, like OG on like
Oh yeah,
Vita.
You're half. You're over the. You've done more than half of the Resident Evils.
I
You've
probably
made
will
it.
go and try to like complete like a legit run of remake. I've also I need my thing to come true though. I need the
I know.
GameCube games on.
Well, maybe by the time this episode's up, there was a Nintendo Direct that announced
Hopefully.
all that.
I've been thinking a lot about Zero lately.
I have a copy of Zero in my back room, ready to roll.
Really? On GameCube?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yep. I got it from a friend of ours who was clearing out stuff from his mom's house and said, "I don't want this. You like games."
That's interesting. Interesting.
Thank you, Tyler.
Okay, that's good to know. I do want to go in a Reddit thread and see if the mod for the item box versus not having an item box is worth it. So if the mod seems to be universally loved, because that game infamously doesn't have an item box, which makes that whole system a fucking mess,
Yeah.
I might default to the item box. I know it's not the pure experience, but I'll take it.
Yeah. Um, I think we're both looking forward to everybody's golf hot shots.
Oh, right. Yes. Yeah. I'll be there.
That'll be a good time. Uh, I'm also really looking forward to Mina the Hollower at the end of October.
Oh,
That's
right.
the
The
new
Shovel
yacht
Knight.
club.
Yeah.
Yep. And then a little bit before that, Silent Hill F. Speaking of horror games, where are you at on the Silent Hill train?
I F looks cool. I don't think I'll be there day one, but maybe around the time of F2 goes on sale.
Yeah, I
That
like
2
that.
remake,
And too. Yeah.
sweep in behind there and play that 2 remake finally.
Yeah.
That I would have played
Uh,
it last year. That came at a time where I was getting married and the funds were dry.
Yep. I also am really looking forward to Demon X Machina Titanic Scion, the new sequel to that. This year's, in addition to being the year of Final Fantasy, also quietly been the year of mechs for me. So I kind of really want to dive into that. Um, Still waiting on a release date for the new Let It Die or just any information about that. So I'll keep watching for that. I'll close us out with the year of Final Fantasy. Are you looking forward to Final Fantasy Tactics: The Evilise Chronicles?
I wasn't at the trailer, but there's been like so much like goodwill and what the was it the director? What was that
Mm-hmm.
message he put out like 2 days later about that game? Like there, yeah,
It was a good, like, yeah, it was like a nice couple
it's
paragraphs.
like there's like the goodwill momentum where I'm like, even if I don't play, I should buy it kind of thing.
Yeah. I think I'm in. Like,
These
I
aren't
I
my
have
favorite game. That's the only problem. I don't like.
no.
I fall off the strategy grid stuff easily because
Yeah.
I get overwhelmed.
But I think if it's a Switch game, it's easy enough to, like, especially it comes out,
I
you'll be
know,
right in the beginning of football season.
but then like I played like 2 hours of Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Fair. Fair.
Like I don't have to
I don't know.
spend 40 or 60 or whatever that game is gonna cost. I have fire. I have tactics at home.
That's true. That's true. Uh my last question for you before we close out, unless you've got other anticipated.
No, we forgot to say Metro Prime 4. I'll be there day one for that, of course.
Yeah. That's yeah. It's good to shine a light on the weirder stuff
I
too.
agree, but yeah.
Yeah. I had the realization putting today's episode notes together that not only are we halfway through the calendar year, but that means we're like 2-ish months away from the point in the year where you and I kind of softly lock our personal lists for next season. How's your planning going? How's your season 14 looking?
There's
Are you
12.
counting?
There's 12.
Okay.
There's 12. There's one on there that I don't know will stay because of I know the hour count. We'll see. I've thought of other stuff that I forgot to write down. That will come back to me when it does. I might be closer to like 14, 15. Oh boy. 87.
42.
Oh.
42. 42. And I've got my theme picked out. I got yeah,
I got
some
a
good.
theme. I don't know how to fucking translate it, and that's like killing me. We'll figure it out.
Mine's easy. I just need to figure out the weave. There's
What
a
was
weave
this
in
game?
play.
There's a game
Gotta
on
get
here
that
that I
going.
wrote down. I don't even remember.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have two games written in one
Oh,
line
right.
together, so it's actually 43.
Okay.
But we're gonna have a good time.
Yeah.
Got some co-op stuff picked out.
Oh, that's good. I should maybe consider that. Maybe that helps.
Yeah. Of course, listener, we're not gonna actually put 42 games out there, but right now my current list is looking pretty good.
I'll get there.
Oh,
I'll get there.
there's games too where like I forgot I put it on there, and it's one where like I know you're gonna be so mad when you see that I have it on the list, but then you're gonna be like, all right, well I guess if we're gonna have to do that, then this one makes sense. And then you're gonna play it and you're gonna be like, this ruled, you were right. Leave it at that. You can flash back to this moment at some point later this year. That's our 50% podcast. We're halfway through. 2025 is not bad. A lot of good video games this year, it turns out. New hardware is good.
Yeah.
It's been solid. Very, very solid. Next week continues to be solid. Superman, 4-year Nintendo 64. And then, Matt, we're going to spend some time with some weird. We're doing Space Channel 5. We're doing Endless Ocean. We're going to finally see what Quake 4 is all about. We got a good summer ahead of us. So if you missed our summer preview catalog, that's up on the website and over on youtube.com. You can see a little peek at everything we've got coming up over the next, at this point, it's not 13 weeks, but the 13 weeks of summer. Until then.
Oh,
Yes.
we also streamed something yesterday. The last week. Right. I forgot we moved.
Yep. We moved. We streamed some Batman Forever, but that's up on the website too. Go check that out. We got another stream. We announced that, right? We announced the July stream is going to be Pac-Man.
I think, yeah. Right in time for the fucking Shadow Labyrinth.
Exactly. We'll be doing a race of Pac-Men to see who can Pac-Man the fastest. So come hang out with us.
Wait, are we playing
Pac?
I guess we are playing Pac-Man. This is for the anniversary. Okay.
45th anniversary. Yeah. Man. Gnarly. Yeah, we'll be back then. Thank you, Matt. Thank you for hanging out. We'll see you next time. Bye.